Hey buddy, it's 54 News Star, and this is a request to the developers of the coppercube engine. My name's John, and I have 120,000 views, closing in on 600 subscribers, and I hope this kind of influences you in some way to say, hey, we do have an engine that is something. It's not, it's not going to be a Unity or UDK or, something large, but it is going to be used on a lot of games, and it will be, bought or used, or, will influence people in a certain way. The reason why, because it allows you to code, it allows you not to code. I really support that format. Some people don't want to code. That's their prerogative. I am a fish in both boats. I will some days not code. I will some days code. I support Construct 2 due to the fact that it allows you to code in some XML whatever format. And, most of the time I don't, because the drag and drop format gives me enough control over the engine to where I can control almost every single thing in there. Literally, just like coding. In some ways, it has taught me how to code because I have to put in some, script format, and it may be just 3 to 4 words. Boom! I've just coded something I didn't even know it. So, the reason why I like your engine allows support for small little teams to build something very easily. Your user interface is great. It could be improved, but right now I picked it up and I said, hey, this is kind of cool, and I tried out the demo and I tested out some stuff and I made a whole bunch of crazy stupid stuff, and I was like, dang, this is fun. And then I was like, dude, if they just added in a couple things, literally make it to the level of Unity 2, just stop right at Unity 2, say, hey, it's not meant to be for huge gigantic mobile, huge gigantic multiple player games. You can put it in, but it's not going to look gold AAA quality. It's meant for mini laptops. It's meant for mobile games. If you want to put, it's meant for web games. You can play games on your big laptop. It's just not going to look like something from Unity or something from UDK or a huge gigantic Fox engine. So, I like this game engine because it was simple, it was, friendly to the user, but I would like to put out a few requests to the developers to say, hey, here's some things, you don't have to do them, but if you did, it would be really nice. So, the first couple of things that come right off the bat is the fact that I know a lot of engines have terrain editors. You have done something like this with polygon editing, but I would like to do something similar to what I can do in the Sculptress modeling software. And what you can actually do in other softwares is the fact that you can edit software. Or, you can actually edit something. So I'm going to go to new scene, and I can literally model something using this sphere or this little circle. This is something I would like to do in some sort of format in your engine. I don't expect something that's mind-blowing awesome, but something in some sort of format would be epic. Excuse me. Where would you put this? Well, this is just a suggestion. You don't have to actually go with it. My suggestion would be in scene editing, along next to the plane would be another one called terrain. This would be a plane, and it would be the size of this plane, or the actual grid. It would be the size of the grid, and you could actually edit that. using basically you would click terrain. It would then pop up controls like you have here. And then what you would then do is that you would have raise an item, lower an item, and so forth. And then what you would have in properties is the fact that you would have something that what you would have in sculptures is the brush size, strength, the type of brush, the detailing. And what I mean by brush is that you could either have a circle brush or have the ability to, you could, something to what you do with materials. Basically, you would go to materials and say, hey, there's a brush. I'm now going to change my brush. You would click on the image, and up would be basically images that would be in the brush folder, in the sculptures folder. And you would click on one of them, and you could have, you could make your own brushes, and you could do all that stuff with them. So yeah, that's something that I would really like. Another thing is that I would like to actually paint on to the terrain. So it'd be again, you see the terrain button, you click on it, it would have the terrain little icon things pop up. You would then have a little paintbrush, and it would say in the little pop up paint terrain. You could then paint the terrain, and by clicking on that paint terrain, you could have the attributes, so you would see the different levels or layers, and then you could edit each layer. So say, hey, I painted the whole thing green, a green grass. I would see a green grass, and I could see brown. I could see which one would protrude more, or something like that. Materials would basically, and materials, I could just click one, so I could actually, okay, I want ground. I'd click ground and paint ground, or I could have a little add button right next to it, under it, and click that, and I could then go to anywhere on my computer and click another texture, and then click it. I would also like the ability to probably right next to it have the ability, or in this drop down or whatever, or yeah, a button next to it would be texture size. So you could select from native texture to half the texture size to then a fourth of the texture size, and then you would have this solid setting to where it'd be, hey, do you want it solid or normal mapped or something like that. Again, that last one where it's solid or normal mapped isn't optional and probably would take a lot of time to actually do, but the others wouldn't take that hard. And then when you textured the object, see, once you create a terrain, it creates a texture down here in the textures. So it'd be a basically blank sheet of paper. As you painted it, it would actually render the texture down here in the textures. I would like to have some form of water. Basically, I'm kind of going for, something to where I can either create a cylinder, boom, and have it, basically like clear water. Either I can, take an object like this and go to scene editing and say, in a drop down or whatever, set as water. So it's blue, you go into it, it's like being underwater. If you're on top of it or something like that, you can see splashing waves or something like that, or some sort of normal mapped water waking. Or you can actually draw rivers. And this is something I actually saw in Torque, was that if you clicked on something like create river, you could actually create a river or a stream or something like that. This simple things that other engines have. They don't have to be as refined, because they are going to be for mobile and web development and lower end PCs. This is just something I thought the community would be interested in. Also, this is something I kind of want you guys to know, is that your create path, what I would like for you to guys do is every time I would like for an arrow to be pointing to where this is going to be. So you see the green box, I would like a green arrow. That was basically indicate where the object is going to be pointing at. So the front of the object is always going to be pointing in that direction, because I tried to make a Half-Life similar game and it just wouldn't let me point the tram car in that direction. Also, if you can make your logic bricks, I like your no coding thing, and I don't want to like say, hey, it's bad or anything, because it's actually not. What I would like to do is have like an AI builder. So you click a character and you have like basically a logic brick system that says, hey, know when this is around, attack this object. I would, just an advancement to what you have. Other than that, it's pretty cool. I guess that's kind of it. It's just, I would like to have, water in the system. I would like to have, a terrain editor and painting system. Oh, I would also like to have a decal editor, something similar to what the Tech 5 engine has. It basically would put a decal onto an object. See, while clicking on the terrain, you could only paint on the terrain. Decals, which you can actually, I would, suspect you could only put like a limit to the texture size, so like 512 decals. You could click anywhere on like an item or the terrain, and it would either add a plane with an alpha. So basically, you would just have the actual like just what do you call it? The just like a grunge texture or a texture of smudge paint or something like that, a blood decal. So you could click it all over the place, enlarge it with your mouse button, scrolling up and down, bullet holes or something like that, to make an area feel more refined. But other than that, I really like your engine. I really would like to support it. Again, this is to my viewers. Thank you guys for subscribing and all that stuff. Me becoming a channel, and while I don't go into, hey guys, you have to subscribe. It's guys, subscribe if you want to, and that's how I'm always going to be. You're always going to hear me say, hey guys, subscribe if you want to, like if you want to. But when you do, you make the channel larger. You allow me to have more freedom to do stuff that I normally wouldn't be able to do. So it's saying, okay, I can make a donation to a group or a company that is doing fine, but maybe they don't have the extra economic income. So I can say, hey, I make a donation. You could then finish those items, projects, etc. that you wanted to do to then make the next engine even better. So again, guys, thank you for being there. I know part of that is the fact that you want me to make tutorials, and I'm here to make tutorials. Right now, I'm making Construct 2 tutorials. I'll be making Unity and Blender tutorials soon. Game Maker tutorials. I would like to actually start doing coppercube engine tutorials, because I've been playing around with them, and you may have seen 2 tutorials on my channel on how to make water effects and playing around with how to make a menu in coppercube. So I would like to see the developers, maybe take on more staff, but then that's on us to say, hey, we will be using this engine. Again, it goes around pricing. If the basic version was, $200, and you could only do web development and PC development, that means web. I mean, it's like HTML, or it goes straight to PC and Mac. That's all you could do with the basic version. Hey, I'd be happy with that. Now, the advanced version would give you Android. Would also give you, iOS. those would be something. Hey, maybe I could spend $500 on or $600 on the premium version, which would also give me the next version with it. Hey, that'd be something interesting. Or maybe a little bit more feedback or something like that. Instant bug fixes instead of having to wait for the next patch. These are something I think the developers and the community of coppercube engines should kind of mull over. Again, I don't intend to comment and say, hey, this is something you should do. I think this is, an engine that is very interesting. I would like to see it continue. I would like for it to continue on to the next step. Again, it's never going to become an engine or a Unity type engine. But again, it's something similar to Torque engine with a little bit more based on the lighter system, the mobile systems, the web formats, because I really do like this engine. I would like to see it expand, go on with the coding / non-coding type. And that's all I have to say. So again, thank you for listening. I hope that you take the words to mind, and that you think over it. You say, okay, yeah, I can implement that. This is the reason why I can't implement this, and I totally understand that part. So thank you, and have a very good day.